Hi everyone, welcome back to another plant mom video. In this video, I am just going to share with you an update on some of my plants and how we're doing. I recently recorded another video where I was talking about my goal this year is to set myself up for plant parenthood success, right? So I have had, I think, some successes, lots of failures, and it was really having lost or losing, this plant that made me say, okay, I'm gonna let's just reset, let's just revisit, let's just get back into some good habits and some good routines, and just routines, period. Because the reality is that I have been a neglectful plant parent in that it's not that I just am like not watering them or just not like because it's not time for fertilizer yet, but before we get into the growing season of spring, like I need to just get it together, right? And part of that is really taking the learning of plants more seriously, right? I think I could argue, I would say about myself that I was a passive plant parent. Like I wanted to just have the look of plants and I wanted to just have plants without really thinking about what is required to take care of them. And if I think about, you know, I don't know, like my kids, my human kids, right? Like I'm learning about child development and stuff all the time. And you want to say, well, it's different, right? It's your kids and they're the future and all of these things. And I get you that. But I would say anything in life worth having requires a level of effort and requires a level of study and a level of knowledge, right? I would say that about my profession as a therapist. I'm learning all the time because I want to be the best therapist that I can be. Now, granted, I could say, well, that's my job, it's my income, it's my career, I get paid for that, so I better focus on that. But like even my marriage, right? Like I read about how to have a successful marriage, how to have a successful, how to have a successful home. Like I try to learn as much as I can about to having a thriving environment in multiple areas. So why would I not apply this mindset to my plants? And I think that I got caught up in the, whether it was people's hacks, where they made it look easy, or people who have been in the plant game for years, so therefore it is easy for them, and they're like, it's easy, and you drink that Kool-Aid of it's easy, and it probably will be easy like after I've been doing this for a couple of years, right? But right now I have not been I've been in the plant game, I would say, for a couple of years, but really taking it seriously where like they're in my house and like I love them and I name them, like that's only been for a little bit. So I just wanted to share a couple of plants with you and like just a couple of updates, and yeah, like just this is me like asking for any feedback, really, right? Because I recognize that one, I need to do a better job of learning and listening and really thinking about what is being said and trying to understand what people are saying to me, and also what I'm reading, like understanding what I'm reading so that my plants can thrive. So I have just put a few of my plants on my kitchen counter, right? So that you could see that some are in the throes of success and some not so much. So I would say like the easiest plant that I have right now is my heart shaped philodendron, right? Like it's just very easy. This one, I would say, like you talk about an easy plant to grow. Like this is like seemingly idiot proof for me because I really do not do anything for this. I slap it in water and look, I need to change the water because it's, look at that, it's green, right? But it sits on my windowsill in my kitchen along with my other plants. I will show you my plants there, some of my plants in my on my windowsill. So it just sits there, and so that feels like a win. Woo, right? That's fantastic. That one is pretty easy. When people are like, this one is super easy to grow, they're not lying. Like this one's an easy one. So this one is, I would say, a win. My ZZ plant, I have been a work in progress with the ZZ plant because I am notorious for being a overwater. I'm like a helicopter parent with water. Like anytime I would see dryness, I'd be like, right, I gotta get in there. But I lost a couple of ZZ plants, which again, people were like, this is a plant you cannot kill. You gotta, like, you can neglect this the heck out of this plant. And maybe it was a failure because I wasn't neglecting it, right? Like I should be into this habit of neglecting the plant, but I wasn't. And so I have killed a few of the ZZ plants through overwatering. Um, but I think this one so far has been okay. Now, the thing that I am recognizing as I'm learning is that this is probably not the best soil for the ZZ plant. As I'm looking at it, it looks like it has a bunch of, like, it does have perlite, but some coconut core, which I believe retain more moisture than what the ZZ plant needs. So as I'm looking at this now, I'm giving these updates and I don't plan on doing anything until the spring, right? Because I think that is when that's the blossoming season. Um, so my plan is to, in the spring, is once I have studied up, taken some notes on the best type of soil for the plants that I have, I will, I think I'm going to make two different buckets, one for like succulents, cactus loving soil, cactus loving soil, soil that is better suited for succulents and plants that need neglect. Um, I will probably make a bucket for that, and then I will also have a dirt bucket or a soil bucket that is for plants that prefer more moisture and will have more like perlite and be more dense and hold water more. So this one is okay. It's not bad. I have several of these easy plants, and yeah, like this has been successful, and I want to say that I started naming a bunch of my plants. I did name a bunch of my plants after after the show Bluey, and I believe this was one of the terriers, right? But the problem is that there's only three terriers in the show, and I have like six ZZ plants, so that makes it difficult to continue to maintain naming of Bluey characters. But I'm thinking I'm gonna get back to it. But this is one of the terriers from uh, the ZZ plants that I have. But I think as I'm talking out loud, I think what I may do is I may condense a bunch of my ZZ like little plants into three bigger ZZ plants because I think I like a fuller ZZ plant look, and then I can get back to calling them the terriers. So that's the ZZ plant. That's what's doing. Like I said, I think I'm gonna change out the soil come spring for more of a cactus loving um, the soil for succulents. This is what has brought me to want to really think about taking care of my plants, right? I put this in moisture loving soil, not really thinking about the fact that these jade plants do not like water, right? Like they're more along the succulent family. And you guys forgive me because I don't know the scientific names of it. I just know these as shade plants, and I am learning, and so I am recognizing that um, they were overwatered. They were sitting in water but they were sitting in soil that retained water, and so it was like as if the plant was sitting in water, and that is not what this plant needs. So my hope is I have to do some research, but I think I'm going to try to cut this like death here, and then try to figure out either putting it in water or putting it in soil that is most appropriate for that. Now, I will say to you where I was surprised, and I will grab this plant here, that I had a jade plant that I started to just, I don't know what made me want to try it out, but like I had it in water, and you guys, just in water, which again is surprising to me that here is a plant that's not supposed to love water, but it's like doing really well in water. Look at those roots. Look at that. That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. I don't know why. I just wanted to experiment with this cutting, and it's not from that plant, but it it like grew. It like the roots are like out of control, and I'm actually a little bit nervous about what to do with this because, like, if I put it now in soil, am I going to kill it? Like, it's just so pretty in the glass jar with water, and but I have to do some research about this because it's thriving in water. And do I keep it in water, or do I just not? No, this is a cutting gone wrong. This was a piece of a monstera that, I wanted to see if I could grow that in water. That didn't work, so that's going in the garbage. So that's that. I have this bonsai that I bought for my husband. This, what is this, mini jade again? Like, me and these succulents. I got to tell you, I am like really wanting to get a handle on succulents for whatever reason. I just love the look of succulents, but me and succulents are having a tough time. And I think, again, because I'm heavy handed with the watering and I don't really understand what it means to just leave them alone and to neglect them. So also, I believe it's probably in the wrong type of soil. It probably needs to be more in like a succulent soil with some sand or some yeah. The only thing I can think of is sand, right? Like, so right now it's probably got too much water, but I'm going to figure this out, guys. I'm going to figure this out. But any tips on how to help this mini jade thrive? I would very much appreciate any tips or feedback or advice. Or I'll just share with you what I did, and fingers crossed it will work. All right. So this is not doing that great, but it's still alive. There's still this little, like, these little pearls, these little nuggets that I am holding out hope for, that it will last with me until spring, when I am going to try to do a big repotting session, probably over the course of 2 days, because between kids and clients and the house, I would love to be able to say that I'm going to have a whole day to repot my plants, but that's probably not realistic. So I will probably, my hope is to do succulent plants on one day, and then like my bigger tropical sort of plants on another day. We'll see. But that's where that is. These are my succulents. Now, again, so far, so good. Now this is because I've been neglecting them because of the holidays and kids and sicknesses and all this stuff. So I really haven't been watering these, but I love it. I love these little succulents. There's something about, I think, where I was drawn to succulents was really to the lotus flower, where this reminds me of a lotus flower. And I love the idea of lotus flowers grow through dirt. They grow through mud. They grow through adversity. And I love that theory of anything that can grow through adversity. So I have had this love affair with lotus flowers, and these just always remind me of lotus flowers. And so I don't even know why I don't have a lotus flower. Can you even buy them? I don't know. That might be scary, because once I discover how to really take care of plants, I will make it probably my mission to get a lotus flower, a lotus plant. But so far these are good, right? Like, I have not been touching these, um, and so they've been doing pretty well. But I really want to step up my succulent game because I just love these. I love these so much. I just think they're so beautiful. I think that they just remind me like little pieces of goodness. And so I really, 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 really want to like learn how to help succulents thrive in my care, because so far it's not been good, as we can clearly see from this, right? The next plant that I have is this, like, I think it's a rubber plant, right? Like, this one I would say is, yeah, kind of easy. I have not done much with it, but it seems to like grow really well. I'm not sure. Um, I think I'm probably gonna have to repot these in bigger pots, because they really grow really fast. These little guys, and Yeah, I love them. I just they just this one is relatively easy, and I love it, and it's so I don't really have to maintain any effort on this part. Now, here's where I'm struggling a little bit. Now, I will share with you that I got into Chinese money plants because of like feng shui, right? But look at this picture of this book and then look at this right here, right? Like just droopy, sad. Like, what am I doing wrong here? What am I doing wrong? I don't know. I don't like this leggy stem thing, but maybe I have to accept that that's what that looks like. I don't know, but I'm like, I don't like this. I don't like the look of this. Like, again, they're supposed to be really easy to take care of, but now I would probably argue that my problem here is that I did not have this close enough to light. Now, but you will also see there's these little nubs of growth happening, these little nubs of growth, and I love that. But I don't like this leggy situation. I don't. These leaves are just like they're droopy. They're droopy. So what am I to do? What am I to do? Do I just cut these off, or like pull them off and then just hope for growth? Do I try to bury this stick into a deeper hole? I don't know. Tips, suggestions? I don't know. But I'm gonna try. The other thing that is sort of like I'm like medium success, I would say, is my bamboo in leca. I would love to plant some of my bamboo in soil because I have read that if they're in soil, then you get more sprouts, right? Like right now, they're just sort of maintaining themselves, but I'm not getting any sprouts, and I want to get sprouts. So I I'm really nervous, but I have to study this. But I do want to plant some of these in soil, and I'm nervous because what I have read is that if you just try to put them in soil, if they've not been used to soil, because this has been in here for like 2 years, maybe, that if you try to put them in soil, that they're going to get freaked out by the environment, that there's like because there's bacteria in soil and there's all the little bugs and all that stuff, and it's just going to shock the bamboo. And I'm a little nervous and afraid about what what will happen if I try to put some of these in soil. But any tips, any suggestions? I would love these. But so far they're okay. Like I have this one yellow um thing here, like obviously, but like what is crazy about it is that there's growth, and I can't see it right now. There's a little offshoot. There's a little offshoot that is, see, right? So I think I'm gonna have to cut this because this looks like it's dying, right? So I think I'm gonna have to cut this little offshoot and just try to propagate it in water or maybe in soil. But that's my bamboo. They are like doing really well. That was like my creamer. I called it my creamer plant. And then here is my other money tree plant, which looks a bit tired. It's a little bit trifling. Again, I'm recognizing not the best soil for this plant, right? Like, and these money trees, I have had the hardest time keeping alive. I'm not gonna lie. I've got this right here, like that. You're just like, look, right? Like this is just a. I don't want to call it a disaster, but like I'm clearly not doing something right. I'm clearly not doing something right, right? So one of the things that I stopped doing was I saw they used to the instructions used to be like just put 3 ice cubes in this such and such, and I watched one woman's video as she showed the progression or the death, the slow death of her money plants by putting ice cubes in there. I don't know, maybe it's the shock of it, or I don't know what, or it's not getting down enough to the roots, or it's shocking these. Ooh, look at that. So I am really struggling with money plants, and I want to have money plants because I want to be surrounded by this sense of abundance and money, and who wouldn't want that, right? So I'm recognizing that this is probably not the best soil because this looks like it retains water. Now, I will also say this is one of these pots where it will sip. It has this thing and it will sip, but there's no water in here. So it's not like it's sitting in water or getting sips of water, but it is this soil retains moisture, and it's probably not best for this plant. But um, yeah, like it's not doing great. But I'm having these little growths, these little buds of growth, right? So what am I to do? What am I to do? What am I to do? What am I to do, guys? I I'm having meh success, right? I'm having meh. But look, they look a little tired. Look, they look tired. They look droopy. And I don't know what to do about that other than like letting them sit by a window and get some sun and hopefully dry out the soil. But I don't know. Am I going to lose this one? I hope not. I really hope not, because I do love um, money plants, money trees, and I would like to be successful. But again, am I in succulent territory, or where I have to put it in a type of soil that where it thrives like succulents, like more coarse and sandy? These are the things I have to learn. So these are my goals for this year, is to just really be intentional about learning how to take care of these plants. And finally, but it's not the last one, but it's the last one that I'm going to show in this video because we're like super long into this video, is my Monstera, right? Now, this I have started to lose. I had to, and hopefully I have saved it, right? But I came home one day and like one of the leaves just like look like it was like that, like it's just, what is that? And then I pulled one and it was black, and I'm like, oh my god! And then I realized that it was sitting in water. It was just like absolutely drenched, sitting in water. I guess I must have overwatered it, and then like it was just sitting in water for days without me realizing it. And so I it was one of those things between the death of my jade plant here and seeing this monstera like losing, its life. I went to town and I this I like just repotted with some soil. Again, I don't really know if I put the best soil in there. I just have potting mix. I just bought like a potting mix bag from the store, and I just mix it in with the wet soil, and I just restarted it. And so this is where we're at right now. I don't know that this is the best soil. Like I said, it's just potting soil. But I thought I remember reading that monsteras love water, but I could be wrong. This is where I have to do some research, and I really have to understand this notion of really understanding what the plant needs. Like, just it could just not be more true. Like it just could not be like, that's serious, right? Like, again, if you're serious about being a plant parent, then you really have to think about what that means, as opposed to it being like, well, you're just gonna have to adapt to like my lifestyle and my situation. Like, well, then if that's the case, then be prepared to have this. Be prepared to have this. Be prepared to have this. Be prepared to lose your plants. And honestly, I'm like tired. I'm done. I don't want to lose my plants anymore. So I just wanted to give you guys a quick update. Again, part of me is just sharing some updates of like what I'm hoping to do with my plants this year, but also really looking for feedback. Like, I just really would love to get a sense of like your tips and your tricks, and again, please, like, serious plant people, because I have realized that what I have been watching on like YouTube or YouTube Shorts or like Instagram Reels, what's sped up is not the reality, right? And you think like, oh, it should only take 5 minutes, and then but not realizing that work is maybe something that is done over the course of an hour, or it's done by someone who is giving you tips, but they don't really know what they're talking about, and so you just follow behind them and not really realize that either they're doing it for entertainment or they don't really know. And so, like, instead of setting myself up for failure, I'm going to really try to take, you know, understanding my plants and my plants' needs more seriously. And hopefully, I can figure this out in February before March comes and we start to get into like the spring budding season and needing to repot or fertilize and do all the things, if I can at least get them in the right soil and in the right environment, then I, knock on wood, set myself up for success. So I hope that you enjoyed this little plant tour with me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.